Catching number 3, Kyle Teal. Batting 6th and playing first base, number 23, Ethan Anderson. Batting 7th, the designated hitter, number 21, Colin Tuck. Batting 8th, the left fielder, number 34, Harrison Ditwick. And batting 9th and playing second base, number 12, Justin Rubin. On the mound to lead for your Cavaliers, number 20, Kyle Early. In his 20th season, the Cavaliers head coach is Brian O'Connor. He's assisted by Kevin McMullen, Drew Dickinson, and Matt Kirby. Ladies and gentlemen, the University of Virginia and the Charlottesville communities were struck with an unspeakable tragedy in November as 3 student athletes on the Cavalier football team lost their lives, with 2 other students wounded. The Virginia Department of Athletics and Football Program shares your grief and appreciates the steadfast support from our friends and colleagues around the country. Please join us for a moment of silence as we honor those who were affected by this senseless tragedy, and we ask that the families, classmates, and the entire community remain in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please join the Atlantic Coast Conference, our student athletes and coaches, in honoring America for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by longtime Virginia baseball fan, Buddy Buchanan.
Please, everybody, join in. Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Buddy. Tremendous.
It is the second go-round at the home opener for this Virginia baseball team, as once again we welcome you to Davenport Field at Disharoon Park, where today the Hoos play host to the Longwood Lancers in a game that was originally scheduled as the 2023 home opener, but of course, because of the surprisingly relocated game last Friday against Navy to kick off the Hughes Brothers Challenge, it is the second game in front of the home faithful to be played this season. Hi again, folks. Channing Poole here with you from high atop the ballpark as we get set for first pitch between the Hoos and the Lancers in this 19th all-time matchup between the two schools. What a weekend it was for Brian O'Connor's Hoos, racking up 3 victories over Navy, Ohio, and the host UNCW in that Hughes Brothers Challenge, the latter 2 of those 3 games having been played in Wilmington, North Carolina. And Virginia's offense, boy, did they ever come to play. The Cavaliers, as a club, hitting .415 to now boast the 3rd highest batting average in the country entering this matchup today with Longwood. The Hoos, who put up 39 runs over the course of the 3 games, the most in a season-opening series since they put up 50 in 1911. So obviously, when you got to go back more than 100 years, it's quite the impressive feat. And that's what the offense did this past weekend. Pitching and defense, equally impressive. The Cavaliers committed just 1 error over the course of the 3 games, and all 3 starting pitchers in the 3 matchups with Navy, Ohio, and UNCW, between Brian Edgington, Nick Parker, and Jack O'Connor, all 3 starters came away with wins in those 3 games. Today, Connolly Early, whom we saw out of the bullpen on Friday against Navy, he gets his first go-round as a starter in a Virginia uniform. And Early, a guy who was the Patriot League Pitcher of the Year last season while throwing for Army. Phenomenal in his work as a starting pitcher for the Black Knights. We'll see if he can now replicate it for Virginia a year later. As we get set for first pitch with Longwood, let's set the starting lineups for the visiting Lancers, who are off to an 0-3 start into the season, a team that plays out of the Big South Conference and led by their now second-year head coach, Chad Oxendine. For the Lancers this afternoon, leading off and playing second base is Hayden Harris. It'll be Quincy Scipio in the 2 spot. Scipio is in left field. Elliot Dix, the third baseman, bats third, with Greg Ryan, the shortstop, hitting cleanup. Drew Camp is in the 5 spot and playing first base. Luis De Leon gets the start in right field, and he bats 6th. In the 7 spot doing the catching is Colin Hughes. Tanner Thomas, the designated hitter, will bat 8th, and Michael Dolberry will round out the order for Longwood. And head coach Chad Oxendine, Dolberry, the center fielder, will bat 9th. In the top third for Longwood goes Harris, Scipio, Dix. Middle third, Ryan, Camp, De Leon. And the bottom third of Hughes, Thomas, and Dolberry. And that lineup all against Connolly Early, the third-year left-hander for Virginia. A season ago for Army, 16 appearances, 14 of them were as a starter. And Early went 7-4 on the season with a 3.26 earned run average. Connolly Early worked 85 2/3 innings for Army last season. And during that time, he struck out 88 batters and walked only 38. Again, as I mentioned, ultimately named the Patriot League's Pitcher of the Year. Opponents hit just .219 against him last season. He allowed just 69 hits over 85 2/3 innings. Made his debut for Virginia out of the bullpen against Navy on Friday in Virginia's 24-5 victory that ended after 7 innings because of the run rule. Went an inning and 2/3, allowing 2 runs, both earned on 4 hits. Early walked 1, struck out 3 in that game, and again gets his first opportunity as a starter for Virginia now this afternoon. Defensively for Virginia in this game, Kyle Teal is the catcher and battery mate for Connolly Early. The infield third to first has Jake Geloff at third base. Shortstop is Griff O'Farrell, Justin Rubin at second, and Ethan Anderson is at first base. Around the outfield from left to right, Harrison Didowick in left field, Ethan O'Donnell the center fielder, and Casey Sauke completes the Cavalier defense. He is in right field. A beautiful, if windy, afternoon for a ball game as we currently sit 66 degrees under sunny skies. A few clouds to be found overhead, but blue skies and a beautiful day for a February baseball game, although again, a very windy afternoon. Early, the left-hander ready to go against Hayden Harris, a right-handed batter who settles in for Longwood. Pitch on the way, off the outside corner wide. 1 ball, no strikes, and we are underway at 3:04 this afternoon, again sitting at 66 degrees. Early, the left-hander back into the windup now and deals, and the pitch swung on and popped up right side. Ethan Anderson will cross into foul territory. The wind chasing it back into fair territory. He sticks with it, makes a one-handed catch, and that is how the ball game will get underway. Gusts today will get over 30 miles an hour. It is a windy day. In fact, up to 35-mile-an-hour gusts expected throughout the remainder of the afternoon. The flags bear that out right now. Beyond the right center field wall, really whipping out and blowing essentially straight out at first pitch. So you get a ball up in the air. First of all, it might play some tricks on the defense. Second of all, you might sneak one out of here. Quincy Scipio, the batter now, takes a called strike on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from the left-hander early. And the count 0-1. Scipio, a transfer from Paul D. Camp Community College. Again, right-handed batter. And a wave and a miss at the next offering from Early, and it's 0-2. Connolly Early wearing long blue sleeves under his white uniform today. Although it is a fairly warm afternoon, the wind makes it feel much chillier than it actually is. The 0-2, up and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Scipio. Scipio off to a 2-for-14 start to the season. Junior plays left field for Longwood and bats from the right side of the plate. The southpaw Early kicks, deals, and strike 3 called. Fastball at 91, right at the knees, and it's 2 up, 2 down to start this first inning for Connolly Early. 6'3", 195-pound lefty out of Midlothian and a product of James River High School. The Rapids, where he was an all-state selection and all-Richmond Metro selection. A couple of years at Army and now his debut with the Who's. Left-hand hitting Elliott Dix to the plate now. Not a ton of pop in this Longwood lineup, but Dix is the headliner if anybody. Lefty swings and fouls it back, and it's 0-1. Infield goes into the shift. Geloff is way off the line at third, and 3 infielders to the right of second base as the shortstop O'Farrell ships to the second base side of the bag, and Justin Rubin is out in short right field. No balls and a strike to Elliott Dix, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Early right back to the slider, and it's 0-2 on Elliott Dix. 341 hitter a season ago with 3 homers, 30 runs batted in. Does have 1 home run and 5 RBIs already this season. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a ball lifted out towards left field. Didowick will shade his eyes from the sun, now come in to make a one-handed catch. Ball well played, and that'll do it for Longwood here in the top of the first. So a 1-2-3 inning for the left-hander Connolly Early, and our first look at the Virginia offense when we come back after 1/2 inning of play. No score between Virginia and Longwood. What is becoming a familiar lineup for head coach Brian O'Connor. Once again, the 1 through 9 for Virginia today in a scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the first. Griff O'Farrell leads off for Virginia with Ethan O'Donnell in the 2 spot. Jake Geloff bats third. It'll be Casey Sauke, the cleanup man. Kyle Teal bats 5th with Ethan Anderson in the 6th hole. Colin Tuff, the designated hitter, bats 7th with Harrison Didowick in the 8th spot, and Justin Rubin rounding things out for Virginia, batting 9th. Again, the top third goes O'Farrell, O'Donnell, Geloff. Middle third, Sauke, Teal, Anderson. And the bottom third of Tuft, Didowick, and Rubin, all against the right-hander for Longwood. Dylan Saley makes the start, junior righty, who worked exclusively out of the bullpen last season for Longwood, 15 appearances, all in relief. He makes his first appearance of 2023 and does so in the starter's role after O'Farrell fouls off the first pitch, swings at the next one, lifts it out towards right center field. That's going to settle in for a base hit. Griff O'Farrell, who had 6 hits in 12 at-bats over the weekend, has his first here today. And O'Farrell gets things started for Virginia against Saley. And now Ethan O'Donnell will be the batter. Saley, junior righty out of Leesburg, Virginia, and Heritage High School. 6'4", 205-pound righty. Again, as he misses off the plate away to Ethan O'Donnell. Exclusively a reliever last season, Saley went 1-1 with an 8.41 ERA. 20 and a third innings, he struck out 12, walked 16, and opponents hit .363 against him as he misses outside again. 2 balls, no strikes to O'Donnell. Saley allowed 33 hits over 20 and a third innings of work. O'Donnell 6 for 14. And the pitch misses wide. 3 balls, no strikes on Ethan O'Donnell. O'Donnell 6 for 14 to start the season with a home run and 4 runs batted in. Check on O'Farrell at first. 3 balls, no strikes. And the next one misses down. So a 4-pitch walk to O'Donnell. And that'll put runners at first and second with nobody out for Jake Geloff. Jake Geloff, 6 for 14, headlining Virginia's offense with 9 RBIs through the first 3 games, and he takes the pitch upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Golden opportunity for Virginia to strike first, just as they did all weekend long. Virginia had 9 first-inning runs over the course of the weekend, as Geloff takes a strike, and it's 1-1. And they scored at least 2 runs in each of the 3 first innings in which they played. That's getting it done, and certainly setting a tone as Virginia did all weekend long. Next pitch to Geloff at the knees, again a called strike, and it's 1-2. Geloff 2 homers already and 9 runs batted in, as I mentioned. A homer in each of the last 2 games for Virginia. Check swing and a ball in the dirt. No swing, says the first base umpire. Let's set that umpiring crew today. Mike Mazza is the home plate umpire calling the balls and strikes. Greg Howard, the first base ump. Kevin Sweeney is the second base umpire, and Linus Baker operates down the third base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Geloff, and the pitch. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Backhand dive from the second baseman Harris. He knocks it down to keep it on the infield, but will have no play. And that will load up the bases with Who's, with still nobody out in the inning. Sauke, yet another guy productive to start the year, hitting at 5 for 13. He bounces one foul towards Virginia's dugout off the third base line, and it's 0-1. Sauke, a home run, 3 RBIs, a double as well. He bats with O'Farrell at third, O'Donnell at second, and Geloff at first base. They are loaded up with who's and still nobody out in the inning. This after a 9-pitch first inning in which Connolly early set down Longwood in order. Cut and a miss at the next one from Sauke moves the count to no balls and 2 strikes. So we'll see if Casey can battle up now against Saley, who misses down and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Virginia has the bases loaded up with nobody out. No score, bottom half of the first inning. Righty against righty here, and the pitch on the way. Swinging a line drive up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Casey Sauke will start the scoring for Virginia today. O'Farrell in from third, right behind him O'Donnell from second, and it's 2-0 UVA on the RBI single for Casey Sauke. He has RBIs numbers 4 and 5 on the year, and the beat goes on for Virginia. Now in all 4 of their games this season, the Hoos have scored multiple runs in the opening frame. See how long they can keep that streak alive. Geloff stops at second as the throw came back in towards third base. The batter is Kyle Teal, left-hand hitter against the righty. And Saley's pitch is fouled away, 0-1. Saley does have previous experience as a starter. His freshman year, he was actually primarily a starter for Longwood. 9 appearances in 2021, 8 of which were starts. But the last time he started a ball game for Longwood was May 20th of 2021 against Charleston Southern, the 0-1. That's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. To Kyle Teal, leading the way with 8 hits already this season for Virginia. Teal the most by any hitter in the ACC and the 9th most in the country. The 1-1. That's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Teal, who has a home run and 2 RBIs. His home run coming in the Friday opener against Navy on Friday. Runners at first and second, still nobody out. And the pitch is swung on and skied towards left field. Fairly well tagged, back towards the warning track. A foot onto the track for the left fielder Scipio to make the catch. But Teal is retired. Even with the wind blowing out today, could not sneak that one out of here. And the first out finally recorded by Dylan Saley. And that'll bring Ethan Anderson to the plate now for Virginia. Two 2-0 Hoos, bottom half of the first. And Anderson, switch hitter batting left, fouls it off of the catcher Hughes. And it's 0-1. Defensively for Longwood today, Colin Hughes, the catcher and battery mate for Dylan Saley. The infield third to first has Elliott Dix at third, Gregory Ryan, the shortstop. Hayden Harris is at second base, and Drew Camp plays first base. Right now, way back of the runner there, Casey Sauke. Pitch a called strike, and it's 0-2. Ahead of Sauke at second is Jay Geloff, as Virginia has first and second with 1 out. No balls, 2 strikes to Ethan Anderson. The outfield left to right for Longwood has Quincy Scipio in left, Michael Dolberry the center fielder, and Luis De Leon is in right field. Anderson swings, loops one out towards left field. That's going to settle in for a base hit. Around third, heading home, Geloff will come in to score on the RBI single for Ethan Anderson and make it 3-0 Virginia here in the bottom half of the first. Good job of 2-strike hitting there from Anderson. A ball down and away, maybe in the zone, maybe not. Either way, close enough to offer at it, and he did, serving it into left field for his 3rd run batted in of the season. And again, 3-0 Hoos, as now Colin Tuft will come to the plate. Still only 1 out in the inning. Fastball in the hands at 87 miles an hour. And it's 0-1. Tuft 1 for 7 this past weekend in the Hughes Brothers Challenge. The pitch, little roller out towards short, might be 2. Stepping on second in time for the out, but the throw to first will not be in time. Over to third base, and the play goes Sauke as the shortstop Ryan tried to take charge himself. Actually pretty close at second base. Anderson was retired, but the relay to first from Ryan not in time as Tuft reaches on the fielder's choice. The ball left sort of a tweener for Ryan to try and make a decision whether to fully charge it or not. He waited back for an extra hop, which at that point made it virtually impossible to turn to. Not to mention he had a decent way to go to get to second base, and rather than flipping it to second, he elected to race over to the bag himself. And by that point, Tuft able to beat out the relay throw at first. Runners at the corners, 2 outs for Harrison Didowick, who takes the pitch off the plate away. 1 ball, no strikes to Virginia's left fielder, who made an exceptional catch in left field when last Virginia played on Sunday against UNC Wilmington. Didowick 3 RBIs already this season, including a home run here against Navy on Friday. Pitch down and away, runner breaking for second. Throw goes through, and now a relay back behind the runner at third is not in time as Sauke dives back in safely. Ryan came up ahead of second base, the shortstop, to pick the throw from the catcher Hughes out of the dirt, allowing Tuft to steal second base safely. Sauke had started to break for the plate, then thought better of it, and retreated to third and got back in just ahead of the tag. So now second and third with 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch, and Didowick goes about 3/4 of the way around. That's strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on the left-hand hitter. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Saley's pitch swung on, driven out towards left field. That chases back Scipio back onto the warning track, and he will make the catch to retire the side. So twice Virginia sends Scipio back to the track in this inning. And at the end of it all, Virginia will settle for 3 runs as 8 men come to the plate in this opening inning. At the end of 1 complete inning of play from Disharoon Park, Virginia 3, Longwood nothing. We're back in just a moment. Virginia's offense up to its old tricks as the Wahoos put up 3 runs on 4 hits in the first inning against the Longwood Lancers. Back to the plate now for Longwood. Gregory Ryan, Drew Camp, and Luis De Leon, the 4, 5, 6 hitters, to face Connolly Early, now working with a lead for the first time today. The Who's getting it done right from the jump and have now scored multiple runs in every game so far this season. Pitch over the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1 to Gregory Ryan, the Pitt transfer. Some ACC familiarity here. The 0-1 pitch, up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan is a Richmonder. He played at Benedictine, now a redshirt senior. Began his career back in 2019 at Pitt. The 1-1 pitch from Early. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by him, and it's 1-2. Ryan transferred from Pitt to VCU for the 2020 and 2021 seasons. And now his second and final year at Longwood. Pitch upstairs to even the count at 2-2. Ryan, the shortstop for Longwood. And the 2-2 pitch from Connolly Early. Down and in, 3 balls and 2 strikes. A couple of Richmond Metro area kids here. Early from Midlothian, Gregory Ryan from Chesterfield. And now the payoff pitch here to Ryan. tapped foul up the third base line. As Longwood's third base coach, Chad Oxendine, their head coach, retrieves it. Second-year skipper out of Coastal Carolina, Chad Oxendine, longtime assistant at Coastal Carolina. The payoff again, swinging a ball driven out towards right field, fairly well tagged, sending Sauke back, leaping up on the track as he turns his shoulder to make the catch, and then tumbles into the fence. And hope he is okay as he went down fairly hard. Again, with the wind playing tricks on outfielders today, going to be tough to track fly balls, and you might see some last-second adjustments, lunging and leaping towards balls. That was the case there for Sauke, who thankfully is back to his feet and no worse for the wear. That was a great catch from Casey Sauke out in right field. Of course, all the players in Virginia's bullpen right behind him scurrying over to make sure that he was okay and see if he needed any attention. Now the batter, Drew Camp. He takes it down and away from Early. 1 ball, no strikes. Virginia 3, Longwood nothing, top of the second inning. And Early now back into the windup, the pitch. And that's in there for a called strike. 1-1. Early needed just 9 pitches to get through the first inning. Gregory Ryan just made him throw 7 in that at bat alone. Now the 1-1 pitch from Early. And that's in there for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Camp. Camp, who did not play last season for Longwood, at least did not see any game action. Transfer from USC Upstate. Pitch misses down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another of the Big South schools transferring from one to another, going from USC Upstate to Longwood. Longwood projected to finish 6th out of the 10 teams in the Big South this season, according to the league's coaches. As the 2-2 from Early misses outside, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So another full count, this time to right-hand hitting Drew Camp, redshirt junior first baseman. And the pitch from Early. That bounces in, ball 4. First base runner of the day for Longwood. And it comes in the form of a 1-out walk for Drew Camp. So now Luis De Leon for the Lancers. Another well-traveled young man, De Leon, who came to Longwood by way of North Carolina Central, where he spent the 2020 and 2021 seasons. He swings and rockets one towards the gap in right center field. Long run for O'Donnell on the move. He will make the catch, then go into a slide. Well tracked by O'Donnell. And now they've got the runner hung up, and that is going to be a double play to end the inning. Straying too far from first, Drew Camp. Off the bat, must have thought that was going to get down, but not so fast, says Ethan O'Donnell, to not only make a great catch, but turn it into an inning-ending double play. That'll do it for Longwood as Early ends up facing the minimum here in the second inning. And at the end of 1 1/2 innings of play, our score remains Virginia 3, Longwood nothing. Brian O'Connor talking coming out of the weekend about Virginia's ability in all three phases of the games, offense, pitching, and defense. Well, the defense shining in the top half of this second inning. Now see if the offense can add to what is already a 3-0 lead for the Who's. Justin Rubin, the lone man that did not bat for Virginia in the first inning, foul tips it into the glove of Colin Hughes, the Longwood catcher, and the count 0-1. And now something has gotten in the eye of Longwood's catcher, but he appears to be okay. Quickly making his way back into the home plate circle and ready to go as Dylan Saley, his battery mate, peers in once again. Rubin showing bunt, pulls it back and takes the pitch down. 1 ball and 1 strike to Justin Rubin. Virginia sent 8 men to the plate in the first, 3 runs on 4 hits. And the 1-1. Rubin grounds it towards the hole at short, backhanded by Ryan. Throws high and throws it away. Over the leaping effort from Drew Camp, the first baseman, but Ryan just sailed that one. Ended up in the seats, and Rubin will get second on a 2-base throwing error. Now the top of the order, and Griff O'Farrell, who singled his first time up. Swinging a ball line towards left center field. That settles in for a base hit. Virginia capitalizing on the error immediately as it's Griff O'Farrell, 2 for 2 today, and he's got himself an RBI on that line shot of a single. And Virginia leads 4-0 already. So Virginia 4, Longwood 0, and now Ethan O'Donnell the batter. That was the 5th hit of the day for the Who's. An unearned run now charged to the right-hander Saley because of the error on Gregory Ryan. And again, Virginia capitalizing immediately. The Who's did that all weekend long. The opposition would commit an error and Virginia would make them pay for it. A lot of unearned runs charged to opposing pitchers as the 1-0, a fastball missing outside, 2-0. Now to O'Donnell. O'Donnell walked on 4 pitches his first time up, and he's ahead 2-0 here, and he fouls the next one away. 2 balls and a strike. That's the first pitch in the strike zone O'Donnell has seen today from Dylan Saley, junior right-hander out of Heritage High School, the Pride in Northern Virginia. Long hold, now the 2-1 pitch. O'Donnell lines it towards short, caught by Ryan as he goes down to his knees to make that catch. Another hard hit ball by a Virginia batter. This one goes for the first out of the inning. And a nice catch there from Gregory Ryan. So now Jake Geloff will be the batter. Geloff singled and scored in his first at bat. And he bats now with O'Farrell at first and 1 out. Breaking ball down, 1 ball, no strikes. Saley at 6'4", a 2-sport athlete in high school. Unsurprisingly, basketball, the other sport. An all Dulles selection in his time at Heritage High School. Pitch misses outside. And it's quickly 2 balls, no strikes to Geloff as Jake is in the driver's seat again. Saley in high school actually got it done as a 2-way player. He was all Dulles as a utility player as Geloff swings, skies it to center field. And leaping up, that ball deflects off the glove of the center fielder, hits off the batter's eye, and that should go down as a home run. Michael Dolberry leaping up at the wall, had plenty of room as it deflected in and out of the webbing of his glove. It hit the batter's eye, and that is indeed the 3rd home run of the season for Jake Geloff. Geloff, the beneficiary of that deflection there, but the Who's will certainly take it as Jake is now homered in 3 consecutive games for Virginia. And Geloff crosses into double digits in RBIs already. He now has 11 on the season. Casey Sauke ripping one over the head of the third baseman Dixon down the line. Sauke is going to head for second and be in standing up with a 2-base hit. His second double of the year. Again, Geloff's 3rd home run of the year. And now 11 RBIs as O'Farrell scores in front of him. Virginia leads 6-0 here in the second. And Jake Geloff now with his 28th home run of his career as Kyle Teal takes the pitch out of the zone, ball 1. Geloff has now moved into a tie with Pavin Smith, Steven Proscia, and Bill Narleski with 28 home runs, a tie for 6th all-time in the career record books at UVA. Pitch outside, 2 balls, no strikes to Teal. E.J. Anderson, the all-time leader, he played here from 95 to 98, hit 37 career home runs. Pitch bounces into the catcher Hughes and goes to the backstop. Sauke will take 3rd on the wild pitch. The amazing thing is Geloff meeting just 99 games to get into the top 10 in the career home runs department. Another game, and he's got another home run. Teal takes the 3-0 pitch. That's outside, ball 4. And a 1-out walk to put runners at the corners with still only 1 out in the inning. Time called now as pitching coach Brad Mincy is going to go out to talk with Dylan Saley, who has logged just an inning and a third and is already at 44 pitches in the game. Ethan Anderson, the scheduled batter. Well, Geloff with 9 RBIs came into the game second in the ACC in RBIs behind Nick Kurtz, who had 10 for Wake Forest this past weekend. And Wake Forest is in action at 4 o'clock today against UNC Greensboro. 6th-ranked Demon Deacons. But Geloff giving him quite the race already as he's got 2 home runs to temporarily, or beg your pardon, he's got 2 RBIs today to temporarily take the lead with 11 RBIs on the season. First pitch to Anderson bounces in, 1 ball, no strikes as the now second-year pitching coach Brad Mincy heads back to the dugout. Following that visit, still nobody throwing in the Longwood bullpen. Now the 1-0 pitch to Anderson. Up and away, 2 balls, no strikes. Virginia with Sauke at 3rd, Teal at 1st. 1 out in the second. It is 6-0 Virginia already. Now the 2-0. Swinging a ground ball towards short. Gregory Ryan will step on second, fire to first, and that is in time for the double play. So 6-3 on the inning-ending twin killing as Anderson bounces into the double play. But not before 3 more runs home for Virginia, highlighted by the 2-run homer from Jake Geloff. His 3rd already this season, and at the end of 2 complete, it's Virginia 6, Longwood nothing. Well, another inning for Connolly early to the mound and additional run support once again. It's now a 6-0 Wahoo lead as Virginia pouring it on offensively nice and early, seemingly already as always. For Connolly early, it'll be the bottom third of the Longwood lineup. Colin Hughes, Tanner Thomas, and Michael Dolberry pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1 to Hughes. Left-hand hitting catcher for the Lancers. One of just two lefties in the lineup against the southpaw early today. Late swing and a miss at a breaking ball. And the count 0-2. And the next pitch, a breaking ball right there for strike 3 called. Early makes quick work of Hughes. And Early has strikeout number 2 this afternoon. 6-0 Virginia, top of the third. And now Tanner Thomas to the plate. Thanks to the inning-ending double play, Early has still faced the minimum. 7 batters through 2 1/3. Pitch to Thomas, misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Thomas, a freshman, gets the start as the designated hitter today for Longwood. Right-handed batter is 0 for 5 so far this season. Next one outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Teal tried to yank it back over the outside corner, but could not sell it to Mike Mazza. And the pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards third base, picked up by Geloff. A home run last half inning, and now fires across the diamond here to record out number 2 as Thomas is retired. Nobody throwing yet in the Virginia bullpen, but there is some stretching ongoing. Brian O'Connor saying the plan today was to chop up the game, get a handful of guys some work, and even though Early's pitch count is in excellent shape, wouldn't be surprised to see him pulled after probably no more than 4 innings today. And honestly, I'd say there's a question of whether he even gets to go past 3, depending on how many guys Virginia wants to get work. Breaking ball to Dolberry, misses down. 1 ball, no strikes. Redshirt junior center fielder, and the 1-0 pitch fouled back. Dolberry would love a hit here, a chance to atone for his sins. In center field, last half inning, going back on the fly ball from Geloff. Had the ball deflect off of his glove and leave the ballpark for a home run. A center fielder assisted 2-run shot. And Dolberry now getting an opportunity at the plate. The pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Dolberry. 3 for 12 to start the season. Dolberry out of Prince George, Virginia. 6'3" right-handed batter. 2 outs, bases empty, and Early delivers. Strike 2 called. Fastball hits the outside edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Dolberry, a .241 hitter a season ago for Longwood. 2nd consecutive year in which he has started in center field against Virginia. Last year, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Check swing and a ball in the dirt. He did not go. That'll run the count full. As Early tried to back foot that breaking ball, but Dolberry able to hold up. So the count 3-2. Dolberry 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts last year in Virginia's 8-3 win over Longwood. And a fastball over the inside corner for strike 3 called. 1, 2, 3 go the Lancers here in the third. And Connolly Early strikes out 2 of the 3 batters he faces. So now at the end of 2.5 innings of play, our score, Virginia 6, Longwood nothing. Colin Tuft, Harrison Didewick, and Justin Rubin, the bottom third of the lineup for Virginia to get their second crack at Dylan Saley. Junior right-hander remains on for Longwood. 6-0 Hoos as we go bottom three. And Tuft takes the pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Colin Tuft. 6 runs, 7 hits for Virginia already in this game. And the pitch inside, 2 balls, no strikes. As Virginia, more of the same offensively from what we saw all weekend long against the likes of Navy, Ohio, and UNC Wilmington. 2-0 pitch is swung on, hit off the end of the bat a little bit and towards left field. In to make the play is Quincy Scipio. And that is out number 1 as Tuft is retired. Virginia 24-5 winners against Navy on Friday, 8-4 winners against Ohio on Saturday, and 7-0 winners over UNC Wilmington a couple of days ago. That game against the Seahawks, what a combined pitching performance it was between the trio of Jack O'Connor in his Virginia debut, Jake Berry, and Jay Woolfolk. So now Didewick takes the pitch down and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Left-hand hitter against the righty Saley with 1 out and the base is empty. O'Connor, 5 shutout innings, 7 strikeouts. As Didewick lines one sailing into right center field for a base hit on a couple of hops picked up by Dolberry. And a 1-out single for Didewick, Virginia's 8th hit of the ball game and Didewick's 3rd hit this season. So O'Connor on Sunday, 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 7 strikeouts. Jake Berry, 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts. And Jay Woolfolk worked the 9th. He threw 10 pitches, 9 strikes, and he struck out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced. That's a really good UNC Wilmington club, and Virginia, in all 3 facets of the game, simply dominant. Pitch to Rubin, misses, 1 ball, no strikes. Justin Rubin reaching on an E6 his first time up, came around to score on the O'Farrell RBI single. 1-0 pitch, a called strike over the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Didewick aboard at first with 1 away. 6-0 Hoos, bottom 3. And the pitch from Saley. That's a little bit low, 2-1. Still no activity behind Saley. Again, worked exclusively as a reliever all of last season, and in fact, the longest outing he had last season for Longwood was 2 1/3 innings. He did that twice. Runner goes from first, pitch misses down, and no throw from the catcher Hughes as he backhanded it cleanly on the pick, but decided against trying to throw on Harrison Didewick. Too much speed from Virginia's first year, and he has his first stolen base of the year. Got a great jump as well. And now the 3-1 pitch to Rubin. Little check swing tapper. Left side of the infield, picked up by the shortstop Ryan, and he has no play. The third baseman Dix cutting directly in front of him. He was screened entirely. And honestly, a pretty good play to even field it cleanly, considering he was completely blocked on the play. That is an infield single for Rubin on that little check swing roller. So now first and third with 1 out. And the batter is Griff O'Farrell. O'Farrell already 2 for 2 with an RBI and 2 runs scored today. And the pitch from Saley. Breaking ball line into left field. Another base hit for O'Farrell. Boy, Griff is seeing it well today. He's 3 for 3. He tacks on another RBI. Give him 5 for the season and make it 7-0 Hoos. Harrison Didewick scores easily from third. Up to second base on the play goes Justin Rubin. So now Ethan O'Donnell, and he takes the pitch down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Still nobody throwing in Virginia's bullpen, although stretching continues. So again, it would appear Connolly early will be getting the 4th. 1-0 pitch is swung on and skied left side. Towards the line goes Scipio. And now he lost it. That ball lands in safely, drops behind him. It's going to be station to station as Ruben over to third base. O'Farrell up to second. Scipio tracking it, seemed to be underneath it, and then all of a sudden ducked and threw his hands up, losing it in the sun. And that goes down as a base hit for O'Donnell. And Virginia's 4th of the inning and 11th of the game. Jake Geloff, the batter now, fresh off the 2-run homer last inning. And he takes a fastball up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Mentioned Jake with his now 28 home runs in a 4-way tie for 6th all time. Fastball strike. The man he is now chasing, Brian Buchanan, is 2 ahead of him with 30. Buchanan, of course, the one guy with more in a single season than Geloff hit last year as Jake swings and fouls it away right side and out of play. And the count 1-2. Jake 2 for 2 in the game, a single and a 2-run homer. 28 home runs, tied with Pavin Smith, Steven Proscia, and Bill Narleski. That is pretty good company. And a foul tip here. Hold the count at a ball and 2 strikes. And finally, as Saley across the 60-pitch mark in the game, there is going to be some activity trotting down to the Longwood bullpen. Now the 1-2. And foul tipped. We'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Virginia with the bases loaded here in the 3rd. Ruben at third base, O'Farrell at second, O'Donnell at first. And Virginia leads 7-0. Home half of the 3rd inning. To say the offense continuing to get it done is an understatement. The 1-2. That one skipped in but blocked by the catcher Hughes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count to Geloff. And again, not just the offense, 7 runs, 11 hits, but Connolly early getting it done on the mound as well through 3 innings. 2-2, and he popped him up, foul back. Will it be playable for the catcher Hughes? That ball is going to bounce in foul territory. The wind carrying it back almost into the field of play. And to be honest with you, if I'm Colin Hughes, he picked it up off of 1 bounce. It looked like it might bounce back into fair territory. If he lets it go fair, it would have been a fair ball and could have stepped on the plate to record an out. Nevertheless, the 2-2 pitch again. Geloff lines it towards short on a hop, kicks off the glove of Gregory Ryan and into center field. Another RBI for Geloff and make it 2 more. Ruben scores from 3rd. O'Farrell scores from 2nd. And Geloff ends up at 2nd at the end of it all. 9-0 Virginia now. 2 more RBIs for Geloff. He's got 4 in the game and now 13 for the season. Now Casey Sauke taking a breaking ball that misses for ball 1. Goes down as a 2-base hit for Geloff. Pitch a called strike. So that is the 3rd double of the year for Virginia's Jake Geloff, and it's 2nd and 3rd with still just 1 out. Pitch to Sauke, missing down and in. Activity underway now in the Longwood bullpen. It is a right-hander throwing. Loy Hickman. As Sauke bounces it foul. Outside of third base. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Casey Sauke. Couple of hits already for Casey today and a pair of RBIs. A chance for more with second and third, 1 out. He lines it towards second. It's going to be snagged by the second baseman, Harris. He was inching towards second, but no chance to double off Geloff there. And that is out number 2. Now Kyle Teal will bat. Hickman, the right-hander, throwing a sidewinding righty. And Hickman has not seen action this year. Changeup swung on and missed by Teal. No balls and 1 strike. Again, Saley about to throw his 75th pitch of the ball game here in the bottom half of the third. He deals strike 2 to Kyle Teal. And the 0-2. Down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Virginia, it is Ethan O'Donnell at third base, Jake Geloff at second base. 3 runs already home in the inning. Virginia has scored 3 runs in each of its first 3 offensive opportunities so far. Pitch down and away to Teal. We'll do it again, 2-2. And the next one just a little bit wide. Fastball didn't miss by much from Saley. And the count full now on Teal. 3 runs home in the inning, 9 for the game for Virginia. Teal swings, lines one into right field. That's going to get a couple more runs home. In from third is O'Donnell. Standing up behind him is Geloff. Virginia has entered double digits once again and do so here in the third inning. It is Virginia 11, Longwood nothing on the 2 RBI single from Kyle Teal. You'd think if Hickman is ready, it might be time to bring him in as Saley seemingly has run out of steam, and that will indeed be the case. Pitching coach Brad Mincy is going to make the change and get the baseball from Saley. So a pitching change from Davenport Field at Disharoon Park. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Our score, Virginia 11, Longwood nothing. Ethan Anderson will be the 9th man to come to the plate in the inning when we come back in just a moment. Junior college transfer Loy Hickman takes over on the mound for Longwood. Hickman, originally from Silver Spring, Maryland, and out of St. John's College High School. He has had a couple of stops before making his way to Longwood, pitching first at Towson and then at Paul D. Camp Community College in Virginia Beach. And he now takes over to face Ethan Anderson, speaking of Virginia Beach. And switch hitter batting left against the righty Hickman. Takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Virginia with a runner at first and 2 outs. 5 runs home in the inning already to knock Dylan Saley out of the game as the pitch misses low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Anderson. Virginia 11, Longwood nothing. 11 runs, 13 hits for Virginia. And the pitch down and in. 2 balls and a strike to Anderson. Ethan had an RBI single in the first. Grounded into a double play his last time up. Hickman's pitch lifted, slicing towards the left field corner. Long run, and Scipio's going to have to play it on a couple of hops. Then it goes between his legs. Around third and now heading home is Kyle Teal in to score the 12th run of the game for Virginia, as Anderson deposits one down the left field line and makes it 12-0 Hoos. So that run charged to Dylan Saley. And we'll close the book on him. So an error allowing Teal to score, charge to the left fielder, means no RBI for Anderson, but he does get a double, his 4th of the year. Colin Tuft takes a ball, 1-0. A pitch from Hickman, swung on and skied. Shallow left center, and I don't think anybody's found it. That ball's going to land in left center field and allow Anderson to score easily. The shortstop, Ryan, started to drift back. Scipio from left never even moved. He just stuck his arms out to his side, couldn't find it in the sun. And Virginia has another run and have batted around here in the third. A pitch from Hickman. Backdoor slider for a strike. So Tuft gets an RBI double for his efforts. And Didowick swings, lines it towards third. That's going to be caught by the third baseman, Dix. So no 19-batter inning like we saw against Navy this time around. Instead, Virginia will settle for 11 men coming to the plate and 7 runs across. And now, in addition to 7 runs, 8 hits in the inning. Virginia now 13 runs on 15 hits for the game. At the end of 3 complete, our score: Virginia 13, Longwood nothing. 3 inning totals for this one, and let's just put it this way for Connolly Early of Virginia. He has allowed just 1 base runner in the game, a 1-out walk back in the 2nd inning. He'll face the top of the lineup here in the 4th, Hayden Harris, Quincy Scipio, and Elliott Dix. For Longwood, first pitch swinging, ball lifted out towards shallow left center field, and right on cue that will drop in for the first hit of the ball game for the Lancers. As Hayden Harris off the end of the bat has a single. While Virginia, meanwhile, 13 runs on 15 hits. Longwood, no runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, and no runners left on base to this point. And for Virginia, it has been 13 runs, 15 hits, no errors, and 4 runners left on base, all in scoring position. But 15 hits, you're going to leave some guys on base. Pitch from Early misses outside to Quincy Scipio. Or beg your pardon, a pinch hitter as Scipio has been called back. Wonder if this has to do with his struggles out in left field. Hasn't really been able to locate the baseball all day long. Pitch outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Pinch hitter is Ethan Barnes. Right-handed batter. Getting an opportunity here in the 4th. And the pitch a called strike. So 2-1 the count. I'll tell you this, Chad Oxendine has done a lot of this through the first 3 and now 4 games of the season. Pinch hitters early in the game. A lot of guys that start and get 1, maybe 2 at bats. The pitch. Grounded towards short, might be 2. O'Farrell flips to second. There's 1. Rubin back to first, double play. 6-4 to 3, and nicely done in the middle there by O'Farrell and Rubin. So quickly, 2 outs here in the 4th. And again, Virginia saying in advance they want to get a number of guys some work on the mound. Connolly Early has only thrown 40 pitches to get through 3 2/3 innings. And so if it's based purely on pitch count, perhaps he'll be able to work deeper in this game than expected. But if there are a certain number of guys for whom Virginia desires some work today, then he might be done after 4 either way. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Elliott Dix, and it's 1-1. There is a right-hander throwing out in Virginia's bullpen. Kevin Jacksel throwing, and there's another breaking ball for a called strike. So 1-2 the count to Dix. 2 outs, base is empty. 13-0 Hoos. Here in the top of the 4th. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Connolly Early gets his man, and that's now 4 strikeouts through 4 innings of work for the Southpaw. At the end of 3.5 innings of play in Charlottesville, our score: Virginia 13, Longwood nothing. Virginia continuing to cruise and doing so today in front of the home faithful on a sunny Tuesday afternoon in Charlottesville, Virginia. Channing Poole back with you as we go bottom 4 now in Charlottesville, and Justin Rubin set to lead things off for Virginia. As the Hoos already lead 13-0, I wouldn't be surprised if even in the middle innings of this one we start to see some pinch hitters. Rubin going to get his third at bat today. Pitch outside, and it's quickly 2-0 to him. Loy Hickman remaining on for Longwood. Activity continues in the Virginia bullpen as Connolly Early is now through 4 innings of one-hit baseball. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. Thanks to a couple of double plays, he has faced the minimum. 12 batters through 4 innings. The pitch. Little squib shot. That's going to be snagged by the first baseman, Drew Camp, for Longwood. And Rubin is retired. And there's one away. So back at the top of the order, and, well, a pinch hitter. Griff O'Farrell, safe to say he did his job today. A couple of nice defensive plays, including starting that double play last half inning. And he will make way for Luke Hansen here in the 4th. Offensively, meanwhile, O'Farrell a perfect 3 for 3, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Swing and a miss in the first pitch to Hansen, and it's 0-1. As the 0-1 pitch misses wide, and a breaking ball from Hickman to even up the count at a ball and a strike now on Hansen. Again off the plate away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Hansen presumably will stay on to play shortstop for Virginia, as we saw him in relief on Friday against Navy at the same spot. He fouls the 2-1 back, and it's 2-2. First year from Williamsburg out of Lafayette High School, and a 6'2" right-handed batter. White pant legs rolled up to the knees to show off the navy blue socks for Hansen. And the pitch. Slider high, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Loy Hickman, transfer from Camp Community College, the Hurricanes, down in the Tidewater. Last year, 15 appearances, 9 starts for the Hurricanes. Hansen fists it left side. Third baseman Dix Fields throws wide to first, and the first baseman Camp held his foot on the bag somehow, shifting the feet to switch the feet, holding contact to the base, but he's able to get the job done, and that is out number 2 as Hansen bounces out 5-3. Now Ethan O'Donnell will bat. Does look like Henry Godbout steps into the on-deck circle for Virginia as O'Donnell is hit by the pitch. And indeed, Jake Geloff's day is done. Well, much like talked about with O'Farrell a moment ago, there's not much more Jake could have done at the plate today. Single, double, home run, 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs. And now Godbout will get an at-bat here in the 4th. 13-0 Hoos. 2 outs and a runner at first. And the pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Godbout, who got a start at second base against Ohio on Saturday. He is 4 for 8 on the season with a double and an RBI. And a swing and a high fly ball out towards left field, but foul. So ball and a strike to Godbout. 6'2" right-handed batter, swings and pops up a slider foul and out of play to the right side. So we'll do it again, 1-2. And Loy Hickman, who got the final out of the third inning, trying to work a complete inning here in the fourth, although there is activity behind him in the bullpen, and he plunks Godbout. So consecutive hit batsman for Hickman, the sidewinder. He's just had a couple of pitches get away from him. And Virginia will continue to empty the bench as Casey Sauke is going to be called back for Chris Baker. Left-handed batter, and he takes a called strike, 0-1. Baker 2 for 2 in his couple of at-bats this season, including a double and a run scored. Grad transfer, originally from Morristown, New Jersey, takes a strike, and it's 0-2. And Hickman's pitch up and in, almost got him. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count now to Chris Baker. 6 foot tall left-handed hitter. And the pitch, swinging a ball driven out towards left center field, ranging over. That ball is going to land on one hop and bounce off of the wall. So Baker has himself a pinch hit RBI. As he drives home O'Donnell from second base. Over to third base goes Godbout and make it 14-0 Hoos. As the streak remains alive, Virginia has scored in every inning so far today. Kyle Teal's day is done as well. Travis Reefsnyder will bat. Left-hand hitting pinch hitter. Will come to the plate, second and third, and 2 outs. Loy Hickman's pitch. Sidewinder deals a called strike over the inside corner. And the next pitch down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Henry Godbout at third. Chris Baker at second for Virginia. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 7 in the third, and 1 here so far in the fourth, but a chance for more. Reefsnyder leans back and out of the way, and it's 2-1. The more traditional variety right-hander throwing now in the bullpen for Longwood. Sidewinder deals, and a 2-1 strike over the outside corner. Aiden Van Winkle throwing in the Longwood bullpen. So they're looking to get a couple of guys who have yet to see action this season on the mound. 2-2 and a swing and a miss. Reefsnyder is down on strikes. That'll do it for Virginia here in the fourth, but not before. Cavaliers tack on a run, and at the end of 4 complete innings, our score: Virginia 14, Longwood nothing. Looks like the Hoos dipping into the bullpen when we come back. Well, the day is done for Connolly early, and you couldn't ask for much more from Virginia's left-hander. 4 innings of one-hit baseball. He walks 1, strikes out 4, and needs just 44 pitches to get through 4 innings on the mound. He makes way for the first-year Kevin Jaxel to make his Cavalier debut, and a fastball at 92 from Jaxel, swung on and missed by Gregory Ryan. And the count is 0-1. Jaxel, a first year from Congers, New York, out of Don Bosco Prep in northern New Jersey. And the 0-1 now. Swing and a ball lifted foul and out of play. And the count quickly 0-2 on Gregory Ryan. Middle third of the lineup for Longwood. Ryan, Camp, and De Leon scheduled to bat. 14-0 Hoos here in the top of the 5th inning. 14 runs, 16 hits for the Cavalier offense so far. Fastball in the hands of Ryan there. And he fights it off foul to hold the count at 0-2. In Virginia, over the course of the first 3 games this season, putting up 39 runs over the weekend. As a swing and a foul tip on that breaking ball from Jaxel. So we'll do it again, 0-2, and 14 more runs so far today. Now the 0-2. And down and away with a fastball, 1-2. Right-hander out of Don Bosco Prep, 6'4", 215-pound righty. Big kid, and first year for the Hoos. Misses down and away with that breaking ball again. Second team All-State selection with the Don Bosco Ironmen. The 2-2. Swinging a bouncer over to third base. Godbout charging in to play the hop. Fires across the way to first. Right on the money to Anderson. And there's one away. Godbout does, by the way, stay on to play third base after pinch hitting for Geloff. Same story for Luke Hansen, who pinch hit for Griffo Farrell. Hansen is at shortstop. And Travis Reef-Snyder, who pinch hit for Kyle Teal, remains behind the plate. And finally, Chris Baker, who pinch hit for Casey Sauke, is in right field. So all straight changes for Virginia from the pinch hitters last half inning. Drew Camp takes a called strike, and it's 0-1. Didowick remains in left, O'Donnell in center, Rubin at second, Anderson at first. Fastball down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike to Camp. Jaxel rated as the number 2 right-handed pitcher, number 6 overall recruit in the state of New York by Perfect Game coming out of high school. His 1-1 pitch, a little bit high with a fastball, 2-1. And again played right across the border at Don Bosco. Prestigious athletic programs of the Ironmen there. Jaxel off the first base side of the rubber. His 2-1 pitch is a called strike at the knees. 2-2 now to Drew Camp, who walked in the second inning. Camp, redshirt junior first baseman, and transfer from USC Upstate, fouls the pitch away off into the seats on a line. We'll do it again, 2-2. Started his career at Lewisburg College, did Camp. A JUCO down in Lewisburg, North Carolina, the Hurricanes, where he spent a couple of seasons before transferring to the Spartans of USC Upstate, where he played the 2021 season. Breaking ball high, and the count goes full to 3-2. So a payoff pitch to come. And the right-hander Jaxel kicks, deals. Check swing, but yes, he did. Home plate umpire doesn't need any help. As down on strikes goes Camp. And Kevin Jaxel has his first strikeout as a Wahoo. And there are 2 down here in the 5th. Now Luis De Leon will bat for Longwood. Grad student takes a fastball up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. He flied out to right center field his first time up. Nice sliding catch by O'Donnell to make that play. Now the 1-0 pitch. And a fastball for a strike. Beg your pardon, something off speed from Jaxel, but either way, he had De Leon tied up in knots there. And it's 1-1. O'Donnell, who made that catch, turned it into a double play. As this ball again ripped towards the right center field gap and well tagged. O'Donnell not going to race down this one, and one hops off of the wall. De Leon will cruise into second with a double. And he has the Lancers' first extra base hit of the day and his first hit of the season. Not only that, his first hit as a Lancer. As De Leon played a couple of seasons of JUCO ball at Central Alabama, a couple of years at North Carolina Central, and then last year had only 2 at-bats for Longwood and went 0 for 2. So it's taken him a while to get to this point, but he's got himself not only a hit, but a well-tagged ball for a double. Runner at second, 2 outs for Colin Hughes. Left-hand hitting catcher. Swings and misses at a changeup from Jaxel. Had him out in front there. Nice pitch fading away from the left-handed bat of Hughes. Now the 0-1 from the tall righty Jaxel. Grounded right side. Rubin over into a slide on the outfield grass to play it. Throws on to first. And the inning is over. So 1 over the minimum for Kevin Jaxel here in his Wahoo debut. A scoreless top of the 5th, and at the end of 4.5 innings of play, we are halfway home. Heading to the bottom of the 5th, our score remains Virginia 14, Longwood nothing. New pitcher on for Longwood as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Midway through this one, Virginia very much in control. 14-0 the Wahoos lead, and it will be the right-hander Aiden Van Vickle to take over on the mound for Longwood. Redshirt sophomore righty out of Fredericksburg, a 6'6", 210-pound righty. wears number 45 for the Lancers. He'll face Ethan Anderson, Colin Tuft, and Harrison Didowick. Fastball to the backstop, and it's 1-0. Out of Riverbend High School, the Bears in Fredericksburg, Van Vickel making his first appearance for Longwood since 2021. He missed all of last season, and so this is the first time he's pitched since the 20th of May in 2021. Bouncing ball from Anderson over to the first baseman Camp, who steps on the bag. 3 unassisted, and there's 1 away. In that 2021 season, he made 10 relief appearances, but again missed all of last year, so it's been a long time since Van Vickel has pitched in a game. This is his first appearance of the season for Longwood. Now Colin Tuft, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI double. And the pitch bounces in, 1-0. Van Vickel, the third pitcher of the day for Longwood. Dylan Saley for 2 2/3 innings. Loy Hickman for an inning and a third. And now Van Vickel. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball almost hit him. 2 balls, no strikes. Virginia 14 runs on 16 hits in this game and have held Longwood to just 2 hits and no runs across. The 2-0 pitch to Tuft. Fastball down and away. 3 balls, no strikes. There does appear to be some activity already behind Jacksel in the bullpen for Virginia. Now the 3-0 pitch. That's off the plate away, and ball 4 to Tuft. So he's on base for the second time today, and that'll get Harrison Didowick to the plate for Virginia. Cullen McKay is the right-hander throwing in Virginia's bullpen, so perhaps another debut looming for the Who's this afternoon. Didowick, meanwhile, 1 for 3 in the game. He has a stolen base and a run scored. Takes a changeup down from Van Vickel, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Again, Van Vickel, 6'6", big kid on the hill. Set at the belt, and the pitch. Swinging a tapper foul up the first base line towards the Longwood dugout, and it's 1-1. A Longwood club that finished 8th out of the 11 teams in the Big South last year and did not qualify for the Big South tournament, which only took the top 6 teams a season ago. They finished 10-14 in Big South play. 1-1, misses down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. And they've got an even taller task this season because the Big South tournament field is going to be contracted from 6 teams down to 4 teams this season. Didowick swings and scalds one to the second baseman. Flip to second for 1. Back to first is in time. Double play. Boy, Didowick hit that right in the screws, but nothing to show for it. It goes 4 to 6 to 3 on the double play from Harris to Ryan back to Camp. So Virginia, the minimum 3 batters to the plate here in the 5th inning. And at the end of 5 complete innings of play, our score remains Virginia 14, Longwood nothing. Another inning and another Wahoo debut. Cullen McKay, the latest first year to see his first action in a Virginia uniform. The righty out of Maury High School in Norfolk, 6'1", 210-pound righty, wears number 35 for Virginia, and he will take over after 4 scoreless from the starter Connolly Early and a scoreless inning of relief from Kevin Jaxel. So McKay to face the 8-9-1 spots in the Longwood lineup, and he inherits a 14-0 lead for Virginia. Tanner Thomas, the batter, and the pitch from McKay, 94-mile-an-hour fastball off the plate away, 1-0. McKay was the number 2 right-handed pitching recruit in the state of Virginia by perfect game coming out of Maury High School. The 1-0 pitch, and there's a called strike, 1-1. The only guy who was rated ahead of him, according to perfect game, is now teammate at Virginia, Jack O'Connor. The 1-1 pitch from McKay. Swing and a ball popped up. Right side and out of play. And it's 1-2. McKay, by the way, also rated the number 38 right-handed pitcher nationally by perfect game. So some pretty elite company he is keeping. Over the head with the glove to start the windup, and he misses upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Righty against righty, and the 2-2 again to Tanner Thomas. And he missed upstairs at 95 that time to run the count full, 3-2. And McKay back into the windup. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Blew it by him at 94 that time. And Cullen McKay has his first strikeout in a Virginia uniform. Now Michael Dolberry for the Lancers. He is 0 for 1 with a backwards K in the scorebook today. Open stance from the right side for Dolberry, and the pitch from McKay is a good slider for a strike. And it's 0-1. McKay, an all Tidewater selection last year at Maury High School, the Commodores. And ready to go with the 0-1 pitch now. And there's a fastball right there for strike 2 called. That one on the inner part of the plate and about waist high, but Dolberry didn't get the bat off his shoulder. So now McKay way ahead, 0-2. We'll see what he goes with as the right-hander winds, kicks, deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider that backed up on him a bit, but does the job as Dolberry swings through it. And it's 2 up, 2 down on a pair of strikeouts to start the inning for Cullen McKay. Now back to the top of the order, and Hayden Harris for Longwood, and he takes a slider for a strike. Fastball's been 93, 94. Slider in the mid-80s for the right-hander McKay. 2 outs, base is empty. Shadows covering just about all of the infield now as the sun begins to set. Slider swung on and missed, and it's quickly 0-2 on Hayden Harris. I mean, this projects to back of the bullpen type of stuff with the mid-90s fastball and the mid-80s slider for McKay. See if he can set down Harris. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, base is empty. And a line drive back up the middle and through for a base hit. Well, at 0-2, I don't think that's where he intended that slider to end up. It ended up right out over the middle part of the plate. Again, the prior at bat, he started it in off the plate and got Dolberry to swing over top of it, righty against righty. You'd think either that again or running it off the outside edge, but That one started over the inside corner and ended up leaking out over the middle part of the plate. Hayden Harris takes advantage for Longwood's third hit of the ball game. Fastball to start. Ethan Barnes misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for Longwood. 14 runs, 16 hits, no errors for Virginia. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. The pitch from McKay. Very late swing and a miss on the fastball by Ethan Barnes there. So McKay has worked the count even at 1-1. And now the pitch. Fastball outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And McKay a couple of steps in front of the mound. Might have looked like he nodded something at catcher Travis Reeve-Snyder, but just wanting to resettle after missing off the plate away that time. 2-1 pitch now to Barnes. Inside, and actually it clipped his jersey on the way in. Barnes informed by the umpire it had hit him. And so that'll put runners at first and second with 2 outs. And now Ethan Dix will be the batter. There is some activity beginning in the Virginia bullpen again. Angelo Tonis, left-hander, is throwing. And again, for a Longwood team that does not return a ton of pop from last year, they actually lost their best offensive performer from last season as a grad transfer to the University of Kentucky. Elliot Dix, probably the best returning bat, and he lines it right back to the glove of McKay, who fields it after it popped in and out of his glove off the grass, trots over and flips to Anderson to complete the put out and the inning. That ball was rocketed by Dix, but it goes 1-3 and will retire the side. So a couple of strikeouts, a couple of base runners, but nothing across for Longwood. And out the end of 5.5 innings of play in Charlottesville, our score: Virginia 14, Longwood nothing. To the bottom of the 6th we go, and while the same pitcher remains on for Longwood in Aiden Van Winkle, some defensive changes to tell you about for the Lancers. Meanwhile, Virginia's offense has once again stolen the show, leading 14-0 as we go bottom 6. The pitch to Justin Rubin misses, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to the Cavaliers' second baseman. Rubin, Hansen, and O'Donnell scheduled to bat. And the rosin bag had actually rolled up the mound a little bit. So far that third base umpire Linus Baker actually called time and told Van Winkle to kick it back down. Breaking ball drops in for a strike to Rubin, and it's 1-1. Next one a little bit wide to Rubin. 2 balls and a strike. Virginia has scored in each inning except for the 5th. 3 in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, 7 in the 3rd, and 1 more in the 4th for good measure. 2-1 pitch to Rubin. Breaking ball strike. And now the 2-2 to Rubin. Swinging a hard hit ball through the 5-6 hole on the left side of the infield for a base hit. So Justin Rubin picks up a single. And now the top of the order in Luke Hansen. And Hansen rockets one into left center field for a base hit. Over top of the head of the new shortstop, Devin Colon. And Virginia will go back to the bench again as Ethan O'Donnell's day is done. And Anthony Stefan will be the batter. And left-hand hitter takes a called strike at the top of the zone. 0-1. Rubin at second, Hansen at first with nobody out here in the 6th. And the pitch. That one bounces in and gets to the backstop. And on the wild pitch, Rubin will take third. Hansen up to second base. So defensively for Longwood this half inning, a ton of changes. Jim White is the new third baseman. Devin Colon, the new shortstop. Luis De Leon, who had already been in the game in right field, as Stefan swings, drives one of the left center field gap. Racing back to left fielder. De Leon is not going to get there. Picks it up off the track. 1 run is home as Rubin scores. Hansen right behind him. And it's 2 RBIs on the double for Anthony Stefan. So I'll make it 16-0 Hoos. Number to match Stefan's jersey number. And now Henry Godbout will come to the plate for Stefan. RBIs numbers 2 and 3 on the season. Pitch to Godbout a little bit low, and it's 1-0. De Leon moves from right field to left field. Ethan Barnes moves from left field to center field. And James Nelson is the new right fielder. Godbout swinging, lifts one to left center field. That will drop on a hop in front of De Leon. And so a base hit for Henry Godbout. Over to third base, Stefan. Still nobody out here in this 6th inning. And Chris Baker will get his second at bat. So finally have all the defensive changes set. De Leon, Barnes, Nelson, the outfield left to right. White, Colon, Harris, Camp, the infield third to first. And it looks like Colin Hughes still behind the plate. Breaking ball strike to start Chris Baker. No balls, one strike. There is a righty throwing in the bullpen behind Van Vickle. Dallas Harefield. Pitch misses down in the dirt, and Godbout will take second base. By the way, that single from Godbout, Virginia's 20th hit of the ballgame. Pitch to Baker a little wide, 2-1. Bottom of the sixth, and 16-0 Virginia. Another offensive outpouring from the Who's. And a fastball down and in. 3 balls and a strike. Again, Van Vickle's first appearance since May of 2021 for Longwood. And this is second inning of work. Still in search of the first out of the inning. 3-1 pitch to Baker. And a little bit high, ball 4. So that will load up the bases for Travis Reefsnyder. Reefsnyder, who struck out swinging his first time up, will get another opportunity against Van Vickle. Mentioned Longwood projected to finish 6th out of the 10 teams in the Big South. Campbell projected as the conference champion ahead of USC Upstate. High Point 3rd, Gardner-Webb 4th, the team that hosted the tournament in which Virginia opened up the season last year. Gardner-Webb picked to finish 4th. Just ahead of Longwood, UNC Asheville in the 5 spot. And Longwood projected to finish just ahead of Charleston Southern in the 7 spot. And Longwood looking to qualify for the Big South tournament for the first time since 2018. And that was when they were the 8 seed. And again, since then, the tournament number of teams has been trimmed to 8. And this year, again, dropping from 8 to 6. And now it will be 4 for this coming season's Big South tournament. Well, they have seen enough from Van Vickle. Pitching coach Brad Mincy is going to make the change. Tough spot to call upon the new pitcher, but they'll do so. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the 6th. We'll tell you about the new arm when we come back. Now the collegiate debut for one Dallas Harefield in quite the situation. He takes over for Longwood. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the 6th inning. 2 runs already home for Virginia in the frame, and the Wahoos lead it 16-0 over the Lancers. Harefield becomes pitcher number 4 on the day for the Lancers. And Virginia with Anthony Stephan at third, Henry Godbout at second, Chris Baker at first, and Travis Reef-Snyder is the batter. First pitch inside, 1-0. Harefield just a 5'9" right-hander. Quite the contrast from the recently departed Aiden Van Vickel, the last pitcher they used, who stood 6'6". The 1-0, and Reef-Snyder takes it wide, 2-0. And again, this is Harefield's collegiate debut out of Mechanicsville High School, the Mustangs in the Richmond area. And now the 2-0. A little bit low, 3 balls, no strikes. Both teams emptying their bench by this point in the ball game. A 3-0 now to Reef-Snyder. That's in there for a strike, 3-1. Ethan Anderson, who waits on deck, one of the few starters remaining in the game for Virginia. I mean, based on numbers, there might not be too many more guys to turn to for Brian O'Connor and company. Now the 3-1, and there's strike 2 called. So that'll fill it up. Maybe slightly expanding the zone, Mike Mazza, but can't necessarily fault him for giving a couple of inches off the outside corner in a 16-0 game. Now the payoff from Harefield, swinging a tapper foul outside of first base. Now we'll do it again, 3-2 on the grad transfer from JMU, Travis Reef-Snyder. After 4 seasons with the Dukes, where he played 99 games, now his first season with Virginia. The payoff pitch, way low, scooped up by the catcher Hughes. That'll walk in a run and make it 17-0 Virginia. As Reef-Snyder gets an RBI and the bases loaded walk. Anthony Stephan scores, Henry Godbout to third, Chris Baker to second. And now Ethan Anderson for Virginia. Anderson, a couple of hits already today. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it away, and it's 0-1. Ethan singled in the first and doubled in the third. Now the 0-1 pitch. Change up wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. A little bit out in front again there was Anderson, and it's 1-2. Switch hitter batting left against the right-hander Harefield. Anderson, who hit .302 last year, 5 homers, 39 ribbies for Virginia. Takes the 1-2 outside, 2-2. Former first-team All-Tidewater selection while playing for the Cox Falcons. Ethan Anderson awaits the 2-2 pitch. Bases loaded, nobody out. And the pitch. Ropes it foul behind first base coach Matt Kirby. Deflects off of the facing of the seats and out into right field, where the new right fielder James Nelson, tosses it into his bullpen. Now the 2-2. That one bounces away from the catcher, but Godbout is going to stay put at third. With a 17-0 lead, you'd think There's a decent chance Virginia has called off the dog, so to speak, in terms of advancing on pass balls. 3-2 is fouled off again to extend the at-bat. Bases remain loaded with nobody out, and the pitch to Anderson. Roller towards second base. Flip to second is low. There'll be no relay to first. It's dug out by Colon covering it short, so they do get the man at second. Godbout comes across to score, run number 18 for Virginia. And Anderson reaches on the fielder's choice to pick up an RBI in the process, his 4th of the season. So 18-0 Virginia. Runners at the corners after Reef Snyder erased at second. And now Colin Tuft takes a fastball down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. It's been a lot of up and down in the bullpen for Angelo Tonos. He appears to be the next pitcher getting work for Virginia, but as this 6th inning is stretched out a little bit farther now, Colin Tuft lines one into left field for a base hit. Home to score from third base Chris Baker and make it 19-0 Hoos. Up to second, Anderson. And Tuft has his second RBI today. And 3rd of the season. Now Harrison Didowick, runners at first and second, 1 out. 21 hits in the ballgame for Virginia. And a foul back on a changeup from the right-hander Harefield. No balls and 1 strike. And the 0-1. Ball lifted out towards center field. Appears to be playable for Barnes, but he lost it for a moment. Never mind, it's off of the wall. He was drifting back as if to have a play on it, but that ball hit the batter's eye above the yellow line, and that will be a 3-run homer for Didowick. And boy, did he get some carry on that one to straightaway center field. It's the 2nd of the season for Didowick. And he drives home 3 more to make it a 22-0 lead for Virginia. And for Didowick to take it out to straightaway center field. Yes, again, there has been a decent breeze today, but he's still got plenty of that one. And another monster of an inning for Virginia, who have now put up an 8 spot to surpass the 7 runs they scored back in the 3rd. First pitch swinging Justin Rubin. And he fouls it away. No balls and a strike. So for Didowick, his 2nd home run. And now 6 RBIs on the year. 22 runs on 22 hits. And now Rubin hit by the pitch. Second inning in which Virginia has batted around. And all this coming with still just 1 out in the inning. Luke Hansen will get his 2nd at bat. And a fastball for a strike at the knees, 0-1. Now the 0-1. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. So Hansen has his 2nd hit. And now 23 hits for Virginia. Well, the 24, or beg your pardon, 23 hits, 24, the benchmark set by the Who's in the opener against Navy. And the pitch swung on and missed by Stefan. No balls and 1 strike. Virginia again came in 39 runs over the course of its first 3 games, and now another 22 to add to the total today. Pitch to Stefan. Fouled off the end of the bat. 0-2. All right, I was going to say, I thought that was a misprint. It was 24 runs, but 20 hits against Navy. So a new hits total for the season here today. Benchmark set with 23 in this ball game. 24 runs, but only 20 hits against Navy. The 0-2 pitch now to Stefan, and it hit him on the shoulder. And that will reload the bases. So Ruben over to third, Hansen to second. Well, again, you feel for Harefield, thrust into the game, his collegiate debut, and he inherited bases loaded, nobody out. He still only recorded 1 out in the inning. By the way, 5 runs all earned, tagged to Van Vickel to complete his line. An inning and 5 runs allowed. Godbout takes it down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. No let up in the Virginia offense since the reserves have taken over. Again, 22 runs on 23 hits. The 1-0 pitch. Off the plate away. I think the only remaining question is whether the pitching staff can preserve the shutout. 6 shutout frames so far from the combination of Connolly Early, Kevin Jaxel, and Cullen McKay. Now the 2-0 pitch to Godbout. Swinging a ball rope towards left center field. That's going to settle in for a base hit. 1 run is home as Ruben scores, and Hansen is right behind him to tack on 2 more. Stefan stops at second. And Godbout with an RBI single. Chris Baker, the batter. It is 24-0 Virginia. Now matching the output against Navy on opening day. The game that ended up being here in Charlottesville after having originally been scheduled for Wilmington. Pitch outside, 1-0. On Baker, who gets his 3rd at bat already today. RBI double in the 4th. He walked and scored in the 6th. And the pitch. Change up high. 2 balls, no strikes. First and second, 1 out. And the 2-0 pitch now. Down and in. Baker slides back out of the way. And they count 3 balls and no strikes. Still nobody throwing behind Harefield, who is into the 30s in terms of pitch count. And now the next one. There's a called strike. Well, knew it had a chance to be lopsided. Longwood dropping the first 3 games of their season to Mount St. Mary's. And not only that, but surrendering 26 runs over the course of the 3 games. The Lancers aren't done after today. They got to go down the road to Chapel Hill to face North Carolina tomorrow. Back-to-back matchups with ranked opponents. And they'll play at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Next week, their midweek game is against 21st ranked NC State. So a trio of ranked ACC opponents early in the season for Longwood. 3-1 to Baker is skied to left, over towards the gap and back a few steps. Now drifting back to the warning track and hauling it in is De Leon. So Baker is retired for the second out. Yeah, now Travis Reefsnyder. Longwood will play a total of 5 games against ACC opponents. Virginia, North Carolina, NC State, and then a doubleheader against Duke on May 7th, all 5 games on the road. Mentioned they got swept this past weekend. That was at home against Mount St. Mary's in Farmville. Pitch to Reefsnyder. Fouled it off his foot. And did roll out into the field of play where Harefield picked it up, but the count 0-1. Well, with Virginia having scored 10 runs in the inning, the scoreboard reflects a 0, but that is because there's only the option to put up a single-digit number in each inning tally, when in fact Virginia has scored 10 times in the inning. Reefsnyder fouls it back, and it's 0-2. Stefan at second. Godbout at first. Reefsnyder, the 15th man to bat in the inning for Virginia. They have batted around twice today. They did it in the third and do it again here in the 6th. The 0-2. Popped up left side, shallow left. Racing in comes De Leon. He's under it, and mercifully that will end the inning for Dallas Harefield and Longwood. But not before Virginia again put up a 10 spot in the inning and have matched that runs output from the opener against Navy with 24 runs now today. So Virginia, again, in control. Does not quite do justice what Virginia has done today. 24-0 the Hoos lead after 6 complete. Six complete in the books, and boy, has Virginia put on another offensive show today. 24 runs and 24 hits to no runs on 3 hits for the visiting Longwood Lancers. New pitcher for Virginia is Angelo Tonis, grad transfer from Georgetown, to make his Cavalier debut today. And he deals a fastball for a called strike. And it's 0-1 to Devin Colon, who came on to play shortstop last half inning and now gets his first at bat. Freshman from Staten Island and right-handed hitter. He swings and skies one to right. And over a couple of steps to make the catch goes Chris Baker. And Cologne is retired, and there's one away.
Batting for Longwood, number 23, Drew Camp.
Drew Camp remaining on. He will bat for the Lancers now. Tonis coming to Virginia again by way of Georgetown, where he spent the last 4 seasons. He led the Hoyas with 30 relief appearances a season ago and recorded 7 saves. Deals a called strike over the inside corner, 0-1. 5'11" left-hander, 185 pounds, out of Hillsborough, California. And Sacred Heart Prep, the 0-1. Outside with a fastball, 1-1. He actually pitched against Virginia here in Charlottesville on April 20th of last year, a game that Virginia won 6-4 over Georgetown. And Tonis worked 2/3 of an inning in that game. 1-1, bounced foul outside of third. Lefty on the mound against the righty at the plate, Camp. Tonis, again, in total 30 appearances last year, 1-3 with a 4.99 earned run average, but did have 7 saves. 39 2/3 innings, he struck out 46 and walked only 17. Pitch down and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trying to back foot that breaking ball, but Camp would not offer at it. 61 degrees now, still under sunny skies, and the wind has died down some, but not altogether. Same idea with the breaking ball, but Camp once again lays off, and it's 3-2. There is a left-hander throwing in the Longwood bullpen. I would be shocked if Harefield is asked to return for another inning. There's a fastball from Tonis that he runs back over the inside edge for a backwards K as Camp is caught looking. So 2 up, 2 down now. Luis De Leon is the batter. De Leon 1 for 2. And the pitch from Tonis skips in. 1 ball, no strikes. Tonis spent the summer with the Frederick Keys of the MLB Draft Summer League. Made 3 appearances for the Keys, former minor league team, now part of the MLB Draft League circuit. Pitch misses. 2 balls, no strikes, and Tonis will get a new baseball from umpire Mike Mazza. Hitters count for De Leon, who has swung it well today. Although he's 1 for 2, both times he's made contact, he's struck it fairly well. Grounds it left side over to Pickett. It's knocked down by the third baseman, Godbout. Retrieves it and slings it over to first. A rifle shot from Godbout. Wow. Showing off the arm to retire De Leon, who was hustling down the line. And that'll do it for Longwood here in the 7th. And get us to 7th inning stretch time. So after 6.5 innings of play from Charlottesville, Virginia 24, Longwood nothing. All stretched out from Davenport Field at Disharoon Park, where Virginia in front by a 24-0 score. As you might expect, the crowd has thinned out significantly since the beginning of the game. Virginia, another simply dominant performance. 24 runs, 24 hits. And for Virginia, Ethan Anderson will flip around and get an at-bat from the right side of the plate against the new pitcher, left-hander Sean Gibbons for Longwood. He misses outside, 1-0. Anderson, Tuft, and Didowick scheduled to bat for Virginia. And Gibbons, junior lefty from Roanoke, making his second appearance of the season as Anderson swings and fouls it away. And it's 1-1. Over the weekend against Mount St. Mary's, Gibbons worked 2/3 of an inning, allowing 3 runs on 3 hits. All the runs earned. He did not walk a batter, struck out 1. As Anderson fouls away another one, and it's 1-2. Virginia 24 runs, 24 hits to Longwood's no runs on 3 hits. Gibbons, 6'3" left-hander, pitcher number 5 on the day for the Lancers. Swinging a foul tip that is caught by the catcher Hughes, and Anderson is down on strikes. So 1 away in the 7th now for Colin Tuft. Gibbons 6'3", 195, wears number 34 for the Lancers. And he deals a called strike, and it's 0-1. A lot of 4 o'clock start times in the ACC. North Carolina, the team that Longwood will face tomorrow in Chapel Hill, they lead Radford 7-1 in the 4th. Pitch upstairs to Tuft, and it's 1-1. Carolina, the 12th ranked team in the nation. And Clemson, South Carolina, Clemson and UNC Charlotte are tied at 2. That game is in the 4th. Tuft fouls the pitch back, and it's 1-2. 5th inning action from Greensboro. 6th ranked Wake Forest leads UNCG 11-1. And I got to check in on the RBI totals in that game because, again, Jake Geloff came into today's game 1 RBI behind Nick Kurtz of Wake Forest. Swing and a miss by Tuft, and it's 2 up, 2 down, and back-to-back Ks to start the game. Or the appearance, at least, for Sean Gibbons. So Kurtz has 1 RBI today, which would put him at 11 for the season. Meanwhile, Jake Geloff, as the pitch that Didowick misses down and away, 1-0. Geloff with 4 today, now has 13, so he is the ACC's leader still in RBIs this season. Didowick launched the 3-run homer his last time up. The 1-0 pitch, down and away, 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs, bases empty. Only in the 5th inning did Virginia send the minimum 3 batters to the plate. And in fact, somebody reached in that inning on a walk. That was Tuft, but a double play meant only 3 men came to the plate in that frame. Pitch fouled back, and it's 2-1 on Didowick. Virginia 24, Longwood nothing. Last of the 7th inning. The pitch. Up and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. More activity in the Virginia bullpen. Matthew Buchanan is throwing. Now the pitch. And it hit him. Would have been ball 4 anyway, but a hit by pitch will put Didowick aboard. And now Justin Rubin will be the batter. Gibbons, the 5th pitcher for Longwood. Virginia has used 4. And the pitch. And Rubin, first pitch swinging, skies it to right center. Should be playable for Barnes. He's under it. Makes a one-handed catch, and the inning is over. So 1 over the minimum for Sean Givens, pretty good showing here in the 7th for Longwood. And as we head to the 8th, still 24-0 Virginia. It looks like another new pitcher coming on when we return to Disharoon Park in just a moment.
Presented by Charlottesville Gas. Out of the bullpen for your Cavaliers, number 25, Matthew Buchanan, now pitching for Virginia. Charlottesville Gas reminds you to always call Virginia 811 before you did. Visit www.charlottesville.gov/gas.
New pitcher on for Virginia is the left-hander Matthew Buchanan to make his season debut, and he inherits a 24-0 Virginia lead. For Longwood, the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the lineup, Hughes, Thomas, and Dolberry scheduled to bat, although it looks like some different names will enter the mix. Pitch misses to Hughes, 1 ball, no strikes. Buchanan, regularly used last year for Virginia, made 17 appearances. Ball grounded over to third. Godbout retreating. Fields fires to first. He looks smooth over there, doesn't he? That's a nice play, and that is out number 1. Seen him in on a ball. We've seen him knock a ball down. And now ranging back and into the hole to make the play. First to bat today for Justin Looney, whose number is called now. To bat here in the top of the 8th. 24-0 Virginia leads. And the pitch from Buchanan misses, 1-0. Talking to the coaching staff before the season, really impressed with how Buchanan is coming along. And obviously he already did some really good things last year for this Virginia club. Another ball grounded over to third. This one kicks wildly off of the kneecap maybe of Godbout, but flies out from third base into right field where Baker goes to retrieve it. That was a sharp deflection. And now James Nelson will get his first at bat. Pitch a called strike on a fastball from Buchanan, 0-1. Goes down as a base hit for Looney. And the fourth hit of the day for Longwood. Lefty against lefty with Nelson at the plate. Mentioned Buchanan's 17 appearances last year. 4 of them were as a starter. Breaking ball just missed, and it's 1-1. Although Buchanan did not get the win in all of those starts, Virginia did win each of the 4 games he started. Matchups with Ryder, Towson, Georgetown, and George Mason. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball strike, and it's 1-2. Buchanan, a 3-1 record and a 3.49 ERA last season. In his first year, he worked 28 1/3 innings, striking out 36 and walking only 7. Meanwhile, opponents hit just .222 against him. Second year from Lebanon, Virginia deals, and a foul tip that popped in and out of the glove of Reef Snyder. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count on James Nelson. Nelson, a junior from Midlothian, out of Trinity Episcopal. And now the 1-2 from Buchanan. Breaking ball driven towards right field and well tagged. Baker's going back. He's back to the wall. That ball is long gone. Nelson clears the bullpen for a 2-run homer. And he has Longwood on the board here in the 8th. As he got a hanging breaking ball and did not miss it. So Longwood has finally broken through, and there will be no consecutive shutouts for Virginia pitching. 24-2 our score. As Nelson has the 2nd home run of his career. He hit one back as a freshman in 2021 and now has another one here today. Top of the order now on Hayden Harris, who takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Harris 2 for 3 on the day. Right-hand hitter awaits the 0-1 pitch. And Buchanan just missed there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now Buchanan back into the windup. And he missed a little bit high. Not missing by much, but not to the liking of Mike Mazza. And now his 2-1 pitch. Popped up on the infield. Who's going to take charge? Looks like Rubin. And right where the dirt meets the grass, he makes the catch. And that is out number 2. So 2 outs, bases empty here in the top of the 8th. And Evan Barnes will be the batter for Longwood now. Barnes, who came on a few innings back to play left field, has since moved to center field for the Lancers. And the pitch right there for a strike, 0-1. Barnes, a native of Emporia, Virginia, but homeschooled. He played for the Central Virginia Homeschool Athletics Association. They go by the Patriots. Fastball just missed. A flinch from the batter, Barnes, and Reef Snyder gave Mike Mazza a long look, but no sale. 1-1 the count. And the left-hander Buchanan now rocks and fires. Swing and a miss. Change-up. And Barnes trying to jump on it. Ended up out in front. Freshman outfielder Barnes, 6-foot-tall right-handed batter. The 1-2. Swinging a bouncer third base side, but foul. And we'll do it again, 1-2. Was rated as the number 11 outfielder in the state of Virginia. Was Barnes, according to Perfect Game. Played travel ball for the Richmond Braves. The 1-2 pitch now. Ground ball left side, Godbout picks it at the knee, fires along the first, inning over. But not before Longwood, at long last, are on the board. A 2-run homer from James Nelson breaks up the shutout. And at the end of now 7.5 innings of play, Virginia 24, Longwood 2, as we go bottom 8 from Disharoon Park. New pitcher on for Longwood as we go to the bottom of the 8th is the redshirt junior righty Michael Tolson to take over. And Tolson's first pitch to Luke Hansen misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Hansen, Stefan, and Godbout scheduled to bat against now the 6th pitcher of the day for Longwood in Tolson. The pitch, there's a called strike, and it's 1-1. 6 foot 2 inch, 180-pound righty Tolson out of Stafford High School in Fredericksburg. He wears number 1. Interesting look for a pitcher, and makes his 2nd appearance of the season. The offering to Hansen, strike 2 called, and it's 1-2. Tolson, an inning and a third scoreless, or beg your pardon, inning and a third without allowing an earned run against Mount St. Mary's over the weekend. He did allow 1 unearned run. Walked 2, struck out 2. 1-2 bounced in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Tolson, who led Longwood last year with 4 saves, call him the closer, I guess. 17 relief appearances, 0-2, but 4 saves, as I mentioned, and a 5.40 earned run average. His 2-2 pitch now to Luke Hansen. Fouled away right side, and we'll do it again. Fastball at 86. He had been exclusively slider prior to that pitch. And Tolson, very short, quick arm action. Works out of the stretch even with the bases empty. The pitch now to Hansen. And just missed down. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, Hansen, Stefan, and Godbout to face the redshirt junior Michael Tolson. 24-2, Virginia leads, last of the 8th, and the pitch. Hard hit on a hop, scooped up by Camp. Nice pick over there at first. Steps on the bag, and Hansen is retired. 3 unassisted. Now Anthony Stefan. Stefan already a 2 RBI double in this game. cut and a miss, and an off-speed pitch there from Tolson, and it's 0-1. Virginia's offense, plenty of impressive work once again today, even as the reserves took over in the 4th, 5th, 6th innings. Didn't matter. Virginia continued to tack on, including 10 runs home in the 6th inning. Pitch outside, 1-1 to Stefan. One out, base is empty. And yes, he did, says Mike Mazza. Stefan went about 3/4 of the way around. 1-2 the count to Stefan, who has stayed on to play left field after pinch hitting in the 6th. Now the 1-2, way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tolson definitely pitching backwards. He's been off speed, and then once he's gotten 2 strikes on both Hansen and Stefan, has tried to sneak a fastball by him. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And missed away once again. That'll run the count full to 3-2. There is activity in Virginia's bullpen. Alex Green is throwing. And the pitch. That's downstairs, ball 4. So, and Tolson working ahead of hitters, but then filling up the count. That'll get Godbout back to the plate for Virginia. Has played an impressive third base since coming on. We saw him start at second in one of the games over the weekend in Wilmington. Slider from Tolson misses outside, 1-0. 24-2, Virginia leads Longwood last of the 8th inning. And the 1-0 pitch. Swinging the ball lifted out towards center field. Well tagged by Godbout, chasing back the center fielder. That ball is off of the batter's eye and gone. Henry Godbout with another loud home run for Virginia to straightaway center field. And for Henry Godbout, the first long ball of his Cavalier career. And he gives Virginia a new high in terms of runs in a game this season with 26. It is 26-2 Virginia here in the 8th inning. Pitch to Baker is a called strike. 0-1 the count. And outside with an off-speed pitch. From Tolson to even up the count at a ball and a strike now to Baker. Godbout, known as such a gifted player, heavily recruited infielder, showing off defense and offense now in this game for Virginia. With his first career home run in this 8th inning. 2-1 pitch now to Chris Baker. Tolson deals and popped up left side. Will it be playable? De Leon coming in on it, circling around it, and made it interesting, but does hang on for out number 2. So 2 out, bases empty now for Travis Reefsnyder. Godbout 9 home runs last year as a senior at the Baylor School in Tennessee. Was a first-team high school All-American and the Tennessee Player of the Year, according to Prep Baseball Report. He hit .510 for the Red Raiders, 9 homers, 35 RBIs. Reefsnyder a check swing, no swing, says third base umpire Linus Baker. 1-0. Now the right-hander's pitch to the left-hand hitting Reef Snyder in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Upset alert in College Park. West Virginia leads 13th ranked Maryland 7-2. Pitch outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. It was a lot of chalk over the weekend in the top 25. Not a ton of movement in the rankings. Virginia staying put at number 19. Swing and a miss by Reef Snyder and a breaking ball in the dirt. And it's 2-2. The way Alex Green is continuing to throw, I suspect he is going to take over for the ninth to try and take this game to the finish line. And now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss in the dirt, and Hughes will create the angle to flip on down to first and complete the strikeout, but not before. Henry Godbout has his first career home run for Virginia, and that makes it a 26-2 Cavalier lead. We go to the ninth, 3 outs away from locking down win number 4, and it will be Alex Green to try and get it to that point when we come back in just a moment.
No pitcher in the game for your Cavaliers, number 19, Alex Green.
On to the ninth as Alex Green takes over to try and lock down the win for Virginia. Very much in control are the Hoos, and a fastball from Green misses wide to Jim White. 1 ball, no strikes. White, then Cologne, then Camp scheduled to bat. Here in the ninth against Alex Green, the right-hander deals and misses outside 2-0. Virginia 26, Longwood 2, our score. A new high in terms of both runs and hits this season for Virginia, with 26 of them and 25 of them respectively. White fouls a fastball back, 2-1. And the 26 runs today for Virginia marked the most runs in a game since 2010, when Virginia put up 27 against Maryland. Slider for a strike, and it's 2-2. Pitch bounced over towards third, but foul. Oh, Green, interestingly enough, had the same role against Longwood, albeit not as lopsided of an affair. Pitch fouled back, and we'll do it again, 2-2. Last year, Virginia beat Longwood 8-3, and Green worked a scoreless ninth inning to lock down that 8-3 win. Pitch to White, line towards right field, and settles in for a hit. So a leadoff single for Jim White. You can hear the Longwood faithful who have traveled, taking this game, sticking around to the bitter end and cheering for White there. Now Devin Colon will get his second at bat. That game, April 23rd, 2010 in College Park. 27 runs for Virginia. Cavaliers the most runs today since that game, some 13 years ago. Nearly 13 years ago. Backdoor slider for strike one to Colon. Left-handed hitter, and Green's 0-1 pitch now. And there's a called strike, 0-2. Now the pitch. Little check swing tapper foul. And the count 0-2. And a ball swung on and skied towards left center field. Converging on it are Tuft and Didowick. It's going to be tough to make the catch. Who, by the way, moves from the DH spot into left field to get some defensive reps. And he will retire Colon for the first out here in the ninth. Now Drew Camp will bat. Green last year, 10 relief appearances, including the one scoreless inning, as I mentioned, against this Longwood club. 1-0 with a ERA of 0.66, slider for a strike, and it's 0-1. He did not allow a single earned run over his first 8 appearances, which spanned 11 innings of work. He ended up with 13 2/3 innings for the season. 11 strikeouts, 6 walks. Again, off speed for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, the count to Drew Camp. 0 for 2 with a walk so far today. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider from Green, he makes quick work of Camp. And the Hoos are now 1 out away from locking down another victory. 1 strikeout away from double-digit Ks yet again. See if they can get there. Luis De Leon is the batter. Green missing low with a slider, 1-0. Green went 1-0 last year, got that win against George Mason on April the 27th. His 1-0 pitch now. Slider drops in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Sharp break on that pitch, which he is featuring prominently in this ninth inning. Runner at first, 2 outs, the pitch from Green. Swing and a miss, and the Hoos are now 1 strike away. Early, Jaxel, McKay, Tonis, Buchanan, and now Green, the 6th pitcher of the day for Virginia, trying to finish the job. His 1-2 pitch. Swinging a ball driven towards left field, pretty well tagged. Tuft is going back, spins around, leaps up, makes the catch, and that will do it. Twisted himself around, but able to come through with the catch, and Virginia victorious again behind another remarkable display from the offense. The Hoos put up the most runs in a game since 2010. 26 of them this afternoon turned evening. They do so on 25 hits. Both the runs and hit totals are new highs for this season. Meanwhile, the pitching staff, those 6 names I just referenced, they hold Longwood to 2 runs on just 6 hits in today's game. And Virginia will improve to 4-0 in the season, while Longwood drops to 0-4. Connolly early 4 shutout innings in his first start as a Wahoo. Kevin Jacksell a scoreless inning. Cullen McKay a scoreless inning. Angelo Tonis a scoreless inning. Matthew Buchanan an inning allowing 2 runs. And Alex Green works a scoreless ninth to finish the job. Meanwhile, 26 runs on 25 hits for Virginia. Home runs in the ballgame for Jake Geloff, Henry Godbout, and Harrison Didowick. And Virginia again in dominant display, victorious this afternoon. The win to Connolly early, he is 1-0. The loss to Dylan Sale for Longwood, he is 0-1. It was a ball game that took 2 hours, 58 minutes to be played and was done so in front of a crowd. Announced attendance of 2,509 fans this afternoon. Again, Virginia 26-2 winners and are back in action for a weekend series against Columbia Friday at 3 o'clock, Saturday and Sunday, both 1 o'clock start times. Hope you will join me for those broadcasts all weekend long as Virginia takes on the reigning Ivy League champs. But for today, that'll do it for our broadcast. Big thanks out to everybody who helped make the broadcast possible, and for all of those involved, I'm Channing Poole saying I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and I know you enjoyed the result. One final time, our final score tonight from Davenport Field at Disharoon Park, Virginia 26, Longwood 2. Until next time, thanks for listening, everybody.